this isn't rock bottom. There's a couple pieces here and there, but we all know football isn't just about a couple pieces. Football is a team game, and although players can have individual success every season, if you don't have a good team overall, then you're not going to succeed. And it's not like other sports where every player has to be in harmony. No, every player in football has a job to do, and all they have to do to make the team work is do that job. It's not like they have to. Not always. They don't always have to rely on another player not getting in their way. Everyone there's schemes. There's reads and all that, and they just have to do their job and make sure the play runs right. Now, as for the Giants, like I said, there's pieces here and there, but if you expect to win, if you expect to have any decent season, then that's not going to cut it. A couple decent pieces is not going to cut it. And I'm not going to sit here and act like the NFL draft is what's going to save the Giants. But I am going to say this. They have a lot of options on the table. And when you look at the horrible return that they got for Odell Beckham Jr. and Olivier Vernon, there is a lot of reason to be concerned about what Dave Gettleman's going to do in this offseason. Draft or not, outside the draft or not, whatever he's going to do to get this team right, to right the ship. But before I say any of this, let me just put things into perspective for those people that were talking about the Giants were having, that much of a season. They lost by an average of 7.5 points a game. Season average in their losses was 7.5 points. People are sitting here acting like they couldn't win a lot of the games they were in. This is a hump that they have to get over. And another team that had a hump that they had to get over? The Cleveland Browns. They had a similar number in their losses in terms of points that they lost by. And now not everyone, but now there's people talking about them being Super Bowl contenders. I'm not asking anybody to say the Giants are Super Bowl contenders. All I'm asking is some consistency in saying that they could have a much better season with just the new energy that they're going into the season with. All they have to do is just get together and put a decent group together. We're not asking for stars. We're not asking for the best quarterback. We're not asking. Well, we actually are asking for the best quarterback, but we're not saying we're not looking for MVP players to be a good team. We can have a good team without MVP players. With that being said, Gettleman, he said, he solved the cultural problem. Okay. At the end of the day, football is about the product. When you can produce on the field and you can win a couple games with decent guys, you don't have to worry about a drama queen in the locker room. You don't have to worry about, a guy calling another guy out every now and then, because that's what teams have to have. Teams are always going to have a drama queen. They're always going to have call-outs. They're always going to have bad times. So with that new energy you're talking about going into the new season, you're going to need new players to complement that. When you're talking about you got Sterling Shepard, Cody Latimer, and Golden Tate with a possibility of drafting a receiver, you got to think about how those guys can succeed. The Giants cannot succeed without a good quarterback. Whether that be Dwayne Haskins, whether that be Josh Rosen, Daniel Jones, as long as there's a guy who can sling the ball. Eli Manning is nothing without his arm. He's not mobile. He doesn't have great vision, but he's always been able to throw the ball well. Now we can talk about him being shell shocked all the time because the offensive line. We could talk about his lack of inaccuracy in recent seasons, and we could talk about missing some routes or receivers botching routes, and in tandem with him being a little bit inaccurate. But at the end of the day, there's very few passers like Eli Manning when he's successful behind a good line with good receivers that run his routes. This isn't a joke. There's no NFL team that succeeds without a good quarterback. Eli Manning is not going to be back next season, although this whole drama going on. I can guarantee you that he will not be back next season. Gettleman knows that Eli Manning is not the guy, but he's keeping him as security. You cannot just let go of the guy you have. You have to understand this. The draft is very deep this year. There's a lot of options, and that's what I'm talking about. The Giants cannot go wrong. This isn't rock bottom, but they have to maximize. Getty has to maximize his opportunities. This draft is deep. He has a lot of options. He can sign players if on certain positions if he doesn't draft them, and he can draft players that are not available on the market. With that being said, I won't be mad if they don't draft a quarterback, because there's pass rushers and there's pass defenders available that, whether on the market or in the draft, they have to get somebody. That the 23rd ranked defense last season. This is a team known for the defensive identity. A couple seasons ago, when they had that good season, when they first brought in those guys, and we were talking about, we might have a group here. Ever since then, it's been exploded, gone, sucks, nasty. They got to make something happen. They need to fill the linebacker core. I think it's coming together, but they need to fill the pass rush and they need to fill the passing defense. Josh Rosen is available. You want to trade some assets in the future? You want to trade a couple players for or whatever the package you put together for Josh Rosen? You can still get a quarterback if you don't draft a quarterback in the first round. You got 6 and 17. God damn it, I wish it was a little higher, but we're dealing with Dave Gettleman here. 6 and 17. 17 for Odell Beckham Jr. You couldn't even ask for a higher pick. You couldn't even ask like the 49ers for a higher pick either this year or next year. If the Giants are going into a new season with a new energy, they're going to have to maximize their opportunities, like I said. I trust Dave Gettleman. You know why? I'm not trusting Dave Gettleman because I think he's smart, and I think Dave Gettleman has built winning teams. Let's not get that wrong. But his decision-making since joining the Giants has not been the best. I'm not trusting him because I think his football acumen is great. I'm trusting him this offseason because you cannot this up. There is no way, shape, or form that you can mess this up. You don't have to be smart to realize the opportunities at your hand right now. Several different players you can pick up if you make the right moves, whether in the draft or on the market. Again, they can get over that hump. If Gettleman is talking about that culture and talking about how it's been right now, then you got to add the players. You got to maximize the opportunity, add the players so you can get over that hump. Instead of 5-11, you can be 10-6. Or 9-7, at least 9-7. If Getty does not right this ship this offseason, those prices at MetLife Stadium do not deserve to be that high. They do not deserve to have prices that high for the seats they have at MetLife Stadium. Outrageous prices for the product they produced. If there was a good product on the field, I wouldn't be mad about the prices. But God damn it, that is bad for the fans. Horrible. New York fans stick through and through with their teams. But when you treat them like this, you do not want to stoop to a level of the Cincinnati Bengals. And you don't want to stoop to the level of a Cleveland Browns for as long as they've been bad.